All right, so we're diving into something today that's got everybody like totally buzzing online. Nigerian music star Asake, has got everybody talking with this like mysterious new look, and we're here to unpack it all, figure out what is going on.
Yeah, it's wild how like just switching up how you look can cause such a like wave of speculation and analysis and everything.
Right, it's crazy. Our source material today is this news article from the Guardian Nigerian News. Came out just yesterday, January 12th, 2025.
Okay.
And the title is Asake's new look sparks reactions from fans.
I see.
Now, for those who don't know, Asake, formerly known as Ahmed Olaled, is like this singer, rapper, songwriter making huge waves in the Afrobeat scene. Think catchy tunes like blended with traditional Yoruba music and modern pop influences.
Right.
The guy's got a global fan base.
Absolutely. And the Guardian is like a seriously legit news source.
Right.
So, this isn't just some random gossip rag, which makes the whole thing even more
Oh, for sure.
Interesting.
It's not just some like fluff piece.
No.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The article itself, it's like surprisingly vague about like what this new look actually is. Like they're really holding back on the details.
Interesting. So it's like they're playing on the mystery a little bit.
Totally. And that, of course, has like sent fans into overdrive, trying to figure out what is going on. Like, what does he look like now?
Yeah.
What's changed? And the article really focuses more on like how people are reacting to the new look than the look itself.
Oh, wow.
Like, Asake posted a little snippet of his new song, Why Love, on Instagram back on January 11th.
Okay.
And something about him in the post was just different enough.
Interesting.
To set the whole internet on fire.
I mean, it makes sense.
So, yes, like, people are really invested in how artists look.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some of these fan reactions, because we're talking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the works.
Okay.
People are confused, concerned.
Yeah.
Some are spinning these whole conspiracy theories.
Oh, wow.
It's just wild how invested fans get in an artist's whole persona. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really shows you like how strong that parasocial relationship can be. It's like they really feel connected to these artists,
Totally.
Their image and music and like everything.
It's like they're part of their lives.
Yeah. And so when something changes even a little bit, it can feel really personal.
Yeah, like a betrayal almost.
Almost like they feel like they have a say in what the artist does.
Totally.
Like they're part of the decision-making process.
Right, and some are straight up worried. Like there's this one tweet from @Rudy that says, "Hope a psych life never spoil like this."
Oh, wow. So they're like thinking the new look means something bad is happening. Yeah, like they're afraid the new look means like something's wrong.
Interesting.
But then you have others who are like pumped to see him changing things up.
Right.
Like @DayDayVex on Twitter commented, "The evolution of Asake."
So they're like seeing it as a good thing.
They see it as a positive step, for his career.
Interesting.
It's like everyone's reading into this new look based on their own, hopes or fears for Asake, which is just fascinating.
Yeah.
But some reactions are just pure comedy gold, like this one.
Okay.
From @U3MXN on Instagram. At first, I thought it's Ikorodu Boys trying to mimic Asake.
Oh, that's funny. For those who may not know the Ikorodu Boys.
Yeah.
This hilarious comedy group from Nigeria.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They do these like spot-on recreations of famous videos and celebrity looks.
Oh, yeah.
But they use like super low-budget props.
Yeah, it's part of the charm.
Which makes it even funnier.
Right. So like even with all this mystery and speculation, people are finding ways to laugh about it, which I love. It's good.
But one comment really jumped out at me.
Oh, yeah.
This one from @SilverGram on Instagram says, "Y'all still don't get the memo. Different look for different projects."
That's interesting.
Yeah. And this comment kind of hints at this bigger trend in the music industry.
Okay.
Especially when artists are about to drop new music.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Like visual transformations can totally signal a new era in their career. It's a way to like mark a departure from their old stuff and get people hyped for what's next.
Right, like a fresh start.
Exactly. It's like creating this whole new visual language to go with the music.
That's a great way to put it.
Think of like David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
Who completely reinvented his look with each album.
Right.
From Ziggy Stardust to the Thin White Duke.
He was a master of that.
Oh, totally.
Like he used those transformations to show like creative shifts and keep his audience on the edge of their seats.
Exactly. Or even someone like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She's had very distinct visual eras.
That match each of her albums.
Right.
Like really cementing those chapters in her career.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like changing your clothes or hair.
It's deeper than that.
It can be a really powerful artistic statement.
For sure.
Which makes you wonder if Asake is going for that same kind of impact,
Yeah.
And speaking of shifts in Asake's career, this whole new look thing makes me think about something else that happened recently.
Oh, you mean him leaving YBNL Nation?
Exactly. Like this just happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And fans are still trying to wrap their heads around it.
Right.
Like, remember that comment on Facebook in Lindsay's journal?
Mm-hmm.
The one and only Asake, why did you leave YBNL though?
Yeah, and just for context, YBNL Nation, it's this big-time record label in Nigeria that really helped launch Asake's career. So him leaving, especially without any explanation, really got people talking.
Totally understandable that fans are connecting that to the new look. Like, what if this new look is a way to show he's starting a new chapter now that he's not with YBNL anymore?
Interesting.
Maybe it's a way of visually breaking free from that association.
Right.
And establishing himself as like an independent artist with a fresh vision.
That's a really good point, especially since artists often have more control over their image and direction when they're not tied to a label.
Oh, totally.
It makes you think about the whole relationship between artists and labels.
For sure.
Like, how much freedom do they really have?
It's like the new look could be like a declaration of his artistic independence,
Makes sense.
And if that's true, it really makes me even more excited to hear Why Love.
Yeah.
It's like this visual change could be our first peek into a whole new Asake.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I know, right?
Yeah, like he's saying, this is me now. I'm calling the shots.
Right.
It's powerful stuff, even without knowing exactly what he looks like now.
Really is. It makes you think about image and how important it is, like, in today's world.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for musicians.
Especially in music.
Yeah?
Image is everything.
Yeah.
It's like currency in this visual world, especially with social media. Think about artists like Beyonce or Drake. They've built these, like, really strong visual identities.
Totally.
It's like part of their music, their brand.
Right. It's not just the songs anymore.
No, it's the whole package.
It's the whole vibe.
Yeah. And when you have a platform as big as Asake's, even like the smallest change gets put under a microscope.
Yeah, everyone's analyzing it.
Totally. Dissecting it from every angle.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how much we focus on how people look.
It's true. I mean, going back to what we were saying about Asake and the Afrobeat scene.
Yeah.
I feel like image is even more important there.
Oh, definitely. Afrobeats, it's all about energy. Vibrancy, visual storytelling.
Right.
It's really tied to fashion and dance and like the whole aesthetic.
So like a big change in how Asake looks could also mean he's changing his music too, right?
Could be. Maybe he's trying out a new sound.
Yeah.
Or working with different people.
It's possible. I mean, remember, we haven't even heard that snippet of Why Love yet.
Right.
All we have is like this mystery about his look.
Yeah.
And fans are already coming up with all these theories.
Fill in the blanks.
That's the genius of it, though.
Totally.
He's created all this buzz without even showing us anything.
It's marketing gold.
Right.
It's like textbook, creating that mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
That's what any artist does, especially when they're about to release new music.
It just makes you want more.
It makes people so curious.
And it makes you more invested.
Totally.
Honestly, I'm way more excited to hear Why Love now than I was before.
That's the goal.
I know.
That anticipation, that build up, it's all part of it,
Yeah.
Asake is in total control of the story.
It really is all happening without him having to say anything.
The power of image.
Right.
It's undeniable.
But this also makes me think about that whole parasocial relationship thing again. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in all this hype.
Yeah.
And forget that we're talking about a real person.
A real person with a real life.
Right, with feelings and everything.
It's easy to forget that.
It's like we project our own expectations onto them.
Yeah.
But we got to remember they have their own lives.
Boundaries.
Right, it's about finding that balance between appreciating their art and respecting their space.
Exactly.
And this whole thing with Asake's new look, it just shows that tension.
Yeah, it really highlights it.
It's like a case study in how we see someone and how easily that can change just based on like how they look.
Something so surface level.
And how those perceptions can change how we see their art.
Right.
Like, what's their motivation?
Their whole persona.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
Okay, so before we get too far, I want to go back to something you said earlier about image being like currency in today's world.
Oh, yeah.
That really hit me.
Yeah.
It's not just celebrities, is it?
No, not at all. Think about your own social media.
Right.
The pictures you see every day.
Yeah.
Everyone is shaping how they look online.
Totally.
Presenting a certain version of themselves.
It's like we're all part of this big visual marketplace.
Exactly.
Whether we know it or not.
We're constantly seeing images.
Yeah.
And they shape how we see ourselves in the world.
It makes you wonder, like, what does it even mean that we freak out over a singer changing their look?
Yeah, good question.
Like, what does that say about us? Yeah, like, what does that say about, like, what we care about, you know?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
On the one hand, there's self-expression, you know?
Right.
Using how you look to, like, show your personality or creativity. But then there's all this pressure to fit into these beauty standards.
Oh, totally.
And that can be so limiting.
Yeah.
Even harmful.
Especially when those standards are, like, impossible to reach.
Right.
And pushed by companies trying to sell us stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like this constant struggle, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to be yourself, but also dealing with all that pressure.
And I feel like everyone deals with that.
Oh.
Whether you're like a famous musician or just trying to figure out your own style.
It's a human thing.
Yeah. It's like this whole Asake situation. It's
Yeah.
like holding up a mirror to all of us.
Yeah.
Showing us like how we worry about how we look to other people.
It's a reminder that even people who seem like they have it all together,
Right.
they still feel that pressure.
And it goes beyond just how we look physically, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like how we present ourselves online.
Yeah.
The pictures we share, the stories we tell.
It's all this carefully crafted image.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how much is real.
Right. Like how much is actually them and how much is for show.
It's like we're all trying to walk this line between being ourselves and wanting to be liked.
And fitting in.
Yeah, and social media just makes that worse.
Oh, for sure.
It's all about looks there.
It's easy to get caught up in the likes and followers.
Totally, and lose sight of what's actually important.
So important to remember what really matters.
Yeah, and like not base our self-worth on what other people think.
Absolutely.
Well, even without knowing exactly what Asake looks like now,
Yeah.
this whole thing has gotten people talking about way more than just his appearance.
It's about so much more.
Yeah, it's about how artists present themselves.
Fan culture.
And how we all see ourselves in this world where everything is visual.
It's deep.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It really has.
We went from like breaking down fan reactions to thinking about what it means to express yourself these days.
And hopefully it gave our listeners something to think about.
Totally, as they figure out who they are and how they want to show up in the world.
That's the goal.
So yeah, as you scroll through your social media today,
Yeah.
just take a second to think about the images you see
Uh-huh.
and what they're saying to you, even if you don't realize it.
Good advice.
And remember that feeling good about yourself comes from inside, not from likes or what other people think.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's all for our deep dive into Asake's new look.
It's been a good one.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Please ensure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.